Меня зовут Султанов Дмитрий.
My name is Dmitrii Sultanov, and I will talk about the differences in purchasing
За спиной 3 года
behavior
и я
between Russian and Chinese users. I have
170 человек.
a 3-year experience of working in gaming marketing, and we have we're running from 2 offices, one in Russia, one in Cyprus, and starting from 2018, we went to the top of the most profitable companies from CIS, and we started doing mobile. What I'm going to talk about is Age of Magic. It's a mobile RPG game where you can find 70 plus unique characters, heroes.
Игры 180 тысяч пользователей.
We have 170,000
Всех
users, and it's top 20 of all mobile games in the world, and an average score is 4.8. But how are the things in China?
iOS около 1 миллиона.
China mainly plays, that's the biggest geo for us in iOS, about 1 million of installs, and we were at the top grossing list and want to come back there. How did we start buying and acquiring users? Well, before that, we localized our game. You must do it before, and you definitely have to do it in simplified Chinese, in a traditional Chinese. The majority of people in China do simplified Chinese, but it's better if you have 2 languages in store.
Важного из этого это заранее
What's also important,
на получение ISBN.
you need to apply for ISBN well in advance, because that's the major document, that's the major permit. Because ISBN opens up access to all social media in China, and it's quite a hard thing to get. For some it takes a month, for some 2, others take it a year to get.
Без ISBN
Without an ISBN code, it's hard to start acquiring users. There is only one way by means you can do it, by means of which you can do it.
трейдмарк сертификат.
If you have a business registration certificate, a trademark certificate, and IO signed with a stamp, it's better if you have an ISBN.
Начать закупать прямо сейчас.
But of what to do if you want to start buying right now and you want to do your first metrics measurement? Do a test with partners like Unity, Iron Source, Up11. You don't need any documents. You can start acquiring right away. It's better to translate your creatives into Chinese, and you can start measuring your first metrics. And that's what we did. Why this way of going to the Chinese market is so good? Because it's easy to start. But the data you will acquire will not be well enough. You run a test and then you see China is not growing. But why it's difficult? Because it's difficult to grow with the networks, and it's hard to scale your purchases. In July 2018, we looked at our first metrics and we realized that the speed of content consumption is 2 times, ROI is 2 times more than when it comes to acquiring acquisition in other geos, and we got some very positive forecasts for our KPI, so we realized we need to expand. Let me now show you our install graph. Until September, we mainly focused on video networks, but then we connected our partners to this activity. Look at January and subsequent months. That's when we expanded. And in September, we started inviting partners to join. By partners, I mean Chinese social networks such as Tencent and Binance and Mobvistas. What we were sharing with them, our actual ROAS for these kind of days and retention for these kind of days. And the more data our partners get, the easier it is for them to optimize and to scale their purchases. Which creatives did we use? Basically, if you leave something that works well in the world and just adjust it, adopt to the Chinese market, it works best. But if you're running your stuff through social networks, use the expertise, the local one. Mobvista helped us with creatives, and I'll show you what they did for us. In China, this emerge mechanics is so popular, and that's what we use. There's another creative. Let me show it to you.
魔法时代终于引进来了，很多人可能没听说过这款游戏，但这款游戏在国外真的超级火。关键它是全球同服，服务角色有全球各国的神话英雄，比如这个日本、北欧神话等等，当然还有咱们的大圣啦。好期待有大佬带我过关啊！
And we managed to scale out. We connected lots of partners, and you can see, well, we got more data. What's the difference between the Chinese LTV and the US LTV? Here's my comparison for several days, for different periods. And you can also see the difference in here. Until 120th day, LTV growth in China will be higher than in the US. But LTV for Chinese users at the 120th day will be equaling the US LTV, and after 120th day, LTV growth will be higher in the US rather than in China. So we realized that something has to be done in this regard, and we produced specific and special events for China. Here are our major characters. The special event we ran, positively influenced all the cohorts of the users, and we grew our LTV of the 120th day. If you look generally, the Chinese users' behavior is very much different. They consume content fast, they switch between games fast. That's why you have to prepare special events for the users, add links to the social media, WeChat, Weibo, and others. Chinese users are most active in the first month of the game, and an important comment here: don't be afraid of high prices. What I mean by that, we have one comment of a Chinese gamer in our stories. He said, "An amazing game, but I'm really worried about the developers. Are they making any money on it?" That's what he told us. After that, we realized that we really need to grow our prices, and the earlier you will build your monetization, the better, because Chinese CPI can equal the US CPI, or can be higher than the US CPI, or you can have like 10 or 20 or 12 for the Chinese CPI. I hope it helped you